now going to look at the structure of a long bone. So if I do one of my classic diagrams again. Just let me finish before you start judging me. So we've got different sections to the long bone. So just picture this as like the typical bone you see on a cartoon in a dog's mouth. That would be a long bone. And we've got different areas. So this bit here, this expanded portion at either end of the bone, is actually called the epiphysis. Okay, so this is often where you have the cartilage located. So you'll have hyaline cartilage at either end there, and that basically acts as a shock absorber for the bone. It prevents the bones from rubbing together and it absorbs any shock from impact. So we put there, that's cartilage. And then this long shaft here, we don't call it a shaft, we call it a diaphysis. Oh, hold on, need an S. Diaphysis, there we go. So expanding portion, epiphysis, long shaft, diaphysis. Now something else we have in here, which is located in the epiphysis, is you have a growth plate. So this is basically where the growth occurs. So when the bones get longer, it occurs from these growth plates. And we call those epiphyseal plates. Epiphyseal plates. Now these are particularly active in young people. So if you have a 14 to 16-year-old, for example, going through a growth spurt, this is going to be really, really active. And this is one of the reasons why we don't advise that age group to engage in heavy weight training. I'm actually a believer that there's no reason why young people and children can't engage in resistance training as long as they keep the resistance low. Certainly rehearse the movement patterns, learn that from a young age, but they shouldn't be lifting excessive weight, certainly not beyond body weight. And there is the theory that these growth plates can become damaged, damage the bone, stunt growth, deformities, that sort of thing. So that's the epiphyseal plates. And then down the center here, we've got a big cavity called the medullary cavity. Medullary cavity. And this is where we store bone marrow. And from our conversations we had earlier, the bone marrow is what produces the red and white blood cells. So that's really important. Now, you've also got two different types of bone tissue. So all the way around the outside of the bone, we have compact bone. Now, compact bone is really important because it obviously protects the bone, and without it, the bones would fracture. So with compact bone, the bone minerals are really close together. Very, very dense, basically, the bone minerals. So that's going to protect it. Now, inside that, further inside within the bone structure, you have cancellous bone. And cancellous bone is less dense. The minerals are much further apart, so it's not as compact and not as strong as the bone on the outside. Now, over time, if we engage in certainly resistance training and weight-bearing exercise, our compact bone can develop even more. We can get even more denser bones, which obviously, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want stronger bones? But also it means that over time you reduce your risk of osteoporosis. And osteoporosis is the opposite to strengthening and increasing the density of your bones, is actually losing the density. which we don't want because that, that leads us to potentially fractured bones. So we've got our compact bone all around the outside and our cancellous bone on the inside.